Ladies and gentlemen, today on the Void Frogs inaugural podcast, we have...
Inaugural?
Inaugural.
What does that word even mean?
First.
It means you can't hear it. It's inaudible.
Inaudible podcast.
Our inaudible podcast, we have two kings of Minecraft who are part of one of the most talented and respected content teams in the Minecraft community. And of course, we also have qmagnet here with me as my co-host.
Thank you very much.
These two gentlemen have a lot to talk about today, I hope. Or maybe they don't. We'll see.
You need to work on your intro. Wow.
Hey, it's his first one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
I wrote that. I should have delivered it.
You said kings of the Minecraft community.
Two kings of Minecraft are part of one of the most talented and respected content teams in the Minecraft community. Avondale and Noxite of Noxcrew.
Yeah, you sure you brought on the right guys?
I have the proof right here. Where's your proof?
Wow.
Anyone could wear something like that.
That's
Gentlemen.
not true.
Just pretend to be us.
Actually, there's 4 of these shirts that exist, and I only know where 3 of them are. So
The fourth is missing.
I'm gonna have to get my hands on that fourth one.
I think my wife threw it away because it had holes in the armpits.
Isn't that how you normally get the shirt, through the arm, through the shirt?
Yeah. Don't wear that shirt. It has holes in it. All my shirts have holes in them.
Okay, so guys, thanks for coming on. I was so excited to talk to you guys because first episode, you really got to nail it. You got to get awesome people on.
Yep.
You guys are top notch. I can't believe you came on for the low price of zero money.
Mm-hmm.
It's true. It's true. More
than I make most evenings. So.
Just so people know who we are talking to, Avondale, how are you? Are you happy to be here today?
I'm great. I was really hoping Noxite was going to answer.
I was gonna.
No, I'm great.
But I was too slow.
Yeah, too slow. No, it's good. I'm excited. I have my coffee in the evening, which you can always tell I'm ready for something if I'm drinking coffee. So
Hold it up. Do the free advertising right there.
Yeah. So this is
Look at that.
I should have. Hang on. I'll start on the other side so you can get at the start of the word. But this was our gift to our entire team. A year ago at Christmas, we had everybody who was on the team at the time get their face, and our whole team has these mugs. So
That's cool.
qmagnet, how come you didn't get me anything for Christmas?
I got you the pack of Excel mints. This podcast brought to you by Excel mints. They're winter fresh.
And funnily enough, it's on his table.
yeah,
Even though he got it you.
I got all the ads.
they
Got
live
Coke.
together. Don't you know that?
Yeah,
They're actually right on the other side of the wall from each other right now.
that's right.
And then we got our friend Noxite, which I overheard at Minecon specifically someone say, "You're a very handsome man."
Who said that?
I'm not going to say who, but I heard specifically, "You're a very handsome man."
Don't believe it.
The handsome man himself. So guys, I wanted to talk to you guys about your history of your team and how you kind of started not all your projects, but your main notable projects throughout the years. So I've done a bit of video watching and tried to get a bit of research on you, but why don't you guys say, I guess Noxite, you started it, obviously. It's kind of got your name in it. Let's say you're in high school, you find Minecraft. Where'd you get into that?
So there's discussions about Minecraft, is it?
I believe that's the game.
He didn't go to high school though.
Yeah, no high school in England. We
Ooh.
call it secondary school. Or I think that's the equivalent. I don't know.
Yeah, it is.
You were supposed to do research, Q.
Sorry, it's secondary school. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's quite different. Okay, so we're going to talk about Minecraft. It started actually not in Minecraft. It was in Gary's mod.
Oh.
So I used to play Gary's mod when I was like 16 years old.
Okay.
And met someone. For those who don't know Gary's mod, it's pretty much the creative mode. Take Minecraft, put it in creative mode, and add a ton of physics, and there's a ton of creative stuff there. So that's kind of where it started. Spent a lot of time there, met a couple of friends, and then that was about the time that Minecraft started coming out, and it was just like this, alpha thing, right? Basic, there was like maybe 3-4 blocks that you could build with.
Yeah.
And it was very niche at the time, but it was this niche thing that was cool, and everyone in on it was like, whoa, are you seeing this? It's like Lego on the screen. So I remember with a friend that I met in Gary's mod, I was like, hey, let's try. I've been playing this game called Minecraft. Do you want to start building an adventure in it? Because I think I was a little bit obsessed with Elder Scrolls at the time, and I think everyone who wants to make an epic map in Minecraft always starts with this idea of, let's make this epic RPG map.
Yeah, a piece of cake. Couple weekends, you're done.
Yeah. And it's funny because there are actually RPG maps coming out now that are 7 years in the making, and it's these are people who actually started and stuck with it, kind of thing. But they don't get too much traction because I mean, that's a bigger discussion. But so the first idea was, let's make an epic RPG map, and that was, we started hacking away on it. We kind of created this dungeon with a bit of parkour, and you went into the dungeon, and then you go down. And
what's this called? This is something you released?
No.
Oh.
Never got released. I couldn't even. I was trying to find we took a little trailer of it, and I can't find it anywhere. And one day I will, because I really want to, for nostalgic purposes.
Is there any chance that you saved any of the world or map at all?
Yeah, it's coming out next week for Noxcrew on Marketplace. The Elder Blocks.
We still have the map, but it's part of a longer story of why we have the map.
So this was just you and one other person.
Yeah. And very quickly we realized, as we were kind of hacking away at it, that we were going to need a lot more people, because it took us ages, and we just had one dungeon, and we were like, man, we want to make 50 dungeons. Yeah, this is going to take us ages, kind of thing, and we're going to have quests and different towns and cities, and
2 weekends done.
When you're a kid, your imagination just
yeah.
So I started piecing together a couple of I don't know, really, I'll say crappy Photoshop pieces to kind of advertise the map. And I went on the Minecraft forum. It's shut down, didn't it? Is the Minecraft forum still
no, it's bad. It was gonna shut down, and then I think somebody bought it or something. Okay, it's still around.
Yep,
good. Because the Minecraft forum, that was the community at the time.
Yeah.
And I posted a thread on there and was like, we're building this epic adventure map, and I kind of sold the story, and loads of people saw it. And back in the day, it's add me on Skype, and we'll Skype each other, kind of thing. So slowly this community started forming over Skype, right? And eventually we were like, okay, we're going to need a forum. And eventually it was like, okay, we're going to need to stop hosting the map on Noxcite's computer. We're actually going to need to buy a server, kind of thing. Because I'd have to log on, and I think we were using Hamachi at the time or something.
Oh my gosh, that's going back.
Yeah.
Dang.
We were growing from you had 4 people, and then 8 people, and then 12 people, and then it was like, okay, guys, this is getting a bit laggy. We're going to need an actual server. And eventually it kind of evolved over time into this huge team. And we went and built this huge map that was going to be this epic RPG. And we got to this point where it was like, okay, this isn't actually ever going to release, so let's like not do it, and we're going to cut it down into smaller pieces, and we're going to release it episodically instead. We're going to tell the same story but episodically. And a lot of people didn't like that. A couple of people left.
How does that work? Like, you're releasing a portion of this map, you're saying episodically.
Yeah, so it wasn't the same map. We didn't cut pieces out. We sort of remade pieces of it. I mean, you know, to cut the story short, it's like the first episode was an island, right? Easy.
Okay.
You sort out the problem of people trying to travel further and stuff. So that was when I was like 17. We eventually went on and released our first map ever, called Paladin's Quest Episode 1, Humble Beginnings. That was in 2011, August. And that was where we went from being called Noxcite RPG Build Crew. That was what it was called. And the forum was nrbc.org or something.
Jeez.
And we were like, you know, we need a proper name if we're going to release this. So that was the point that we branded ourselves as Noxcrew.
Just cut out all the middle part of the name.
How did you... Okay, guys, I know you're important, but we're going with Noxcrew. That's how it basically went.
Okay, truth be told, back then, I was a bit of a dictator.
I was gonna say, you're gonna appreciate the fact that he let some air out to shrink the name from Noxite in it down to just the Nox.
Yeah.
He gave up a lot there.
Yeah.
It was
It's a
just
little
sort of
bit
like a
more...
brand thing that I wanted to go in.
It's got a little more marketability than Cruisite. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
It just doesn't work. Cruise site.
Avondale, were you part of the crew back then?
No, I came in late. We'll get to me eventually.
We're still telling Nox's
So how much did you have for like...
This is a long story.
Did you have like YouTubers in that play that map? Like, did it go over really well?
Yeah, so what that map did, and I'm sure you guys, are you familiar with like Kingdom of the Sky?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Kingdom of the Sky was the first map that kind of...
It had YouTube clips that you played with it.
It went out of the map, right? It introduced audio. The clips on YouTube were just like audio logs that you would listen to. Well, it was sort of a narrator. So that was the first time a map had done something like that. We went a step above to create an actual cutscene and quest system.
Ooh.
So depending on choices that you made in the map, you would watch a different cutscene or a sequential cutscene to progress the story. So in the map, you would find a character that was like a signpost in the map because NPCs were not a thing back then.
And you would just put the pumpkin on the block, and there's a little guy.
Yeah, you could do that. We didn't do that. I don't know why. We just had signs, and it said character 3.
Oh, very good.
And we said character 3 so they didn't spoil
Right.
who that character was later or something.
Yeah.
And then you would open a folder on the side, and it would have a YouTube link, and it would take you to a cutscene. And then you would watch like a minute-long cutscene full with voice acting and sound and everything. And we essentially created this. It was this tiny island, but it actually had this really cool story that kind of connected characters and things actually happened in the map because of triggers that you would like later. I don't know how to explain it. Like in a cutscene, for example, you would see a house blow up, and then it would actually happen in the game. Because
you would actually blow the house up in the game, or it would be you come across.
We set off a trigger, so we know that the player has come to this point. So it would set off a trigger that the house would blow up in the background, and so while you're watching the cutscene, it kind of explains why the house is blowing up, right? So we released that as our first one, and Martin in the Littlewood, was the first YouTuber to pick that map up, and I think he was at like 60,000 subscribers at the time. Something quite like
little guy.
small. Yeah, I mean, back then 60,000 was huge.
Yeah.
Nowadays 60,000 is kind of like humble still. But so he was the first one to pick it up. He loved it. Did the whole series. His audience loved it, and that really motivated our team to make more.
Yeah.
I don't think any other YouTubers really picked it up. I think it was mainly him.
And of course, he brings it to his audience, and they download it. And
I'm pretty sure the Yogscast main channel ended up playing it as well, but I don't know if it was.
They didn't do the first one.
They did the second one, right?
They did the second episode because we started working on the second episode straight away, and that one became scope heavy to the point that we never finished it. But we had like an intro demo that we actually lent to the Yogscast to play the intro demo to like hype the map up.
Huh.
And they did, and we never finished the map. And
it's actually a funny recurring theme in the Nox crew actually that I just kind of noticed is you start out, it's you and one other guy, and you're like, man, this is a lot of work for us. We need to hire more people so we can get the work done faster. But instead of doing the work faster, you just do more work. You don't actually, you don't do the same amount of work faster. You're just like, we have way more people, so let's make way more things.
that's because you're like, oh, I can build this, I can build this, I can build this. But we're not done yet.
Minecraft's an infinite world. How are we ever going to fill it?
Yeah.
it's a revolving lesson that we keep learning.
Or not learning.
Well, I'm
the way
sure
you look at it.
I don't think you guys aren't doing too bad. You've got like 1 billion maps out, so
You
I'm
know,
sure,
one thing
unless they're all unfinished. Maybe they're like none of them are finished.
We've got a lot of unfinished ones.
Yeah. More than people know about.
Okay, you guys. I think correct me if I'm wrong, but like the first big Noble one was the game show, right? Or at least when you started getting a lot more notice to Noxcrew.
So we were making Paladin's Quest at the time, the second episode, and we have this guy in the crew called Epic Landlord, and he used to make a game show back in which Halo was it?
Halo Reach in the
Halo
Forge
Reach?
mode.
A game show in Halo?
Yeah, so he would go into Forge mode and he would have these parkour courses that he built in the air, and he would enhance them. You couldn't do scripting events in Halo Forge back then. You can sort of now, but he would go have one character who would be in like the monitor editor mode, and it would be holding a piece and like spinning it around so people had to jump on it while it was spinning or knock him off or something. And he actually, there's video of it somewhere. But he would just have people try to run through these like games and parkour courses, and
he was commentating on it on one of them at least.
Is it like red versus blue type style videos with the cinematic camera and all that?
It wasn't really.
It wasn't cinematic.
No.
He was just filming it
like a TV kind of film the action kind of thing.
Chase cam. Think like American Ninja Warrior, Takeshi's Castle, stuff like that. Like those types of interactions, but just being filmed in game instead.
All right, on.
So he was like messing around on a server, on our build server, at the time, and was like, "Hey, I built this thing. Do you want to check it out? Like this concept of a game show." And he basically built like these 4 lanes of these like obstacles. And it was very colourful and checkered, sort of what evolved into the game show style. And he was selling on this idea. Imagine like people were playing, against each other, and they have to reach the end, and we like record it and put commentary on it and stuff. And it was like, yeah, like because I did film production at university, and I was always very much into my editing and filmmaking. So it was like, yeah, we could take inspiration from all these game shows that we used to watch when we were young and make a full production of it. So this started at the same time as Paladin's Quest Episode 2, and that's sort of why Paladin's Quest Episode 2 never got done, because we got distracted by game show because it was just so cool.
Yeah.
So when did Avondale, when did you start on with Is that around that
Much
time?
later.
Still later.
Later?
Still later.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Still a year.
I
to
told
go.
you. You asked me this, and I said it's going to be him talking for a long time. I told
He
you.
still isn't actually on
still
the
Okay.
team. He just has a shirt.
I remember.
So I don't even at this point. I don't even know they exist.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, but this is all interlinked.
Yeah.
So,
But so I remember watching, like I just watched, I'm pretty sure it was the game show video, and the voiceover reminded me of this, I think it was on like that Spike TV, the dubbed
Takeshi's
Japanese
Castle.
guys.
Yep.
What was in that
MXC?
show?
They
MXC?
called it MXC in America, but it was footage from a show called Takeshi's Castle that they would dub
Is that
over
what that
Yeah.
was like?
that was the
parodying?
inspiration.
Yeah.
it's incredible.
Oh, that show was so ridiculous.
I watched that
Like
show
literally,
every single
we
day.
we pulled out the videos from that show to.
It reminded me of that. And you had lots of YouTubers on the show.
Well, the first episode we contacted Martin because
Right.
we knew Martin from Paladin's Quest, and we're like, "Hey, we're doing this game show. Do you want to be on it?" And he was on it on his team. He had Pedro and Toby, which was sort of his
Oh,
group
yeah.
back then.
I remember those guys.
Yeah.
The music guy and
Yeah, I think Toby's still.
And
I think
Toby.
Toby's like editing now.
he
used to be
he
a
did the
YouTuber.
MC spotlights, didn't he? I think he did that.
No, that was. Oh, I don't know.
It's a different Toby.
Yeah.
So anyway, continue.
And we didn't have anyone to pair against them, so I ended up contacting one of the original friends that started, which I kind of skipped in the story. The friends I started Noxcrew with eventually like left, kind of thing, to go do their own thing. They just weren't bothered. They kind of just wanted to play games and stuff. And I ended up contacting them and was like, "Hey, do you want to form a team and go against these like YouTubers, because we have no one else to contact," kind of thing. We don't know anyone. And that was made the first episode of the game show. And once we put on the first episode of the game show, that's when we started getting interest from other YouTubers.
Mm-hmm.
And then second episode, third episode, fourth episode, fifth and sixth, we had quite a lot of talent in it.
Yeah, you were pulling in quite a few views on those. That was before I didn't even. I'm with you, Avondale. I didn't even know who you were either.
Yeah.
I think the first I remember the hole. It was a hole in the wall.
Hole in the wall.
Super hole in the wall. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that part
Oh,
of
that's
the game
much
show?
later.
That's still much later. Yeah.
That's much later. But
That's when I remember it.
We're almost there, though. We're almost there.
Well, real quick, the thing I love about hearing about these old first days is that you, like, I got started playing Minecraft in 2010 and into 2011, and I tried to do some like map making server stuff, and I was so frustrated by my limitations that I ended up just leaving and going and doing other things with life for a few years. But you were like, no excuses. Let's put a sign with a character name and a file with YouTube links, and that's how you're gonna get your cutscenes. Like, we're not.
It was terrible.
I'm sure it was terrible, but you still did it, right? And that led you to then making this game show, which is inspired by a real world game show. So like you're not doing things that are normal, and you're not doing things that are easy or like built into the game, but you were still doing it and still being creative, and that's super sweet to see that's where you came from.
Limitations inspire creativity.
Yeah.
If you can't do things the way that you want to, you have to be creative to find ways to do them, and that's important.
Good call.
Just I think that Mojang looks at it and goes, "They're using signs. What's wrong with us? We need to add whatever armor stands or something."
They did. We'll tell some stories of exactly that happening later, but yeah.
Okay, so game show's going. I know I watched a video where you said we want to bring in community rather than just.
Oh, that's much
way later.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay, so you had dinner that night.
You're 2 years ahead of us.
Yeah, no, so we were making pilot season at the time. It was originally it was sort of season 1, but we then recalled it kind of pilot season because we never finished it. So it was like, oh yeah, let's just call it pilot season.
It was intentional.
That'll fix that issue that we have.
Well, we had a tournament bracket, and somebody was on 2 different teams in the bracket, and it was really ambitious the way they started it. This was, a year and a half before me at least, but they had a tournament bracket, 16 teams, and in the first episode it was like, here's these 2. We'll announce the rest of the teams later. They didn't even know anybody. You were going to run out of friends before you filled up.
It was... It was like that scene from the Wallace and Gromit when they're on the little minecart. The cart, and they're putting the tracks down. They're taking the tracks off the back and putting the tracks in the front all at the same time.
How many people were working? How many people were working with you on this at this time?
Probably about 30.
Oh my god!
Wow.
Something quite. Yeah, it was just a free community. People were logging on whenever they want, sort of thing, and sometimes you not see someone for a long time. And
so at this point, it was still just like friends, gaming, doing like a hobby type building together.
Yep.
Nothing really organized. Okay.
Yep.
Or
and this is organized. About 2 years in, I think.
Okay.
I can't remember how many episodes of Game Show Pilot Season 1 we made before Avon joined.
You made 5.
Before you joined? 5?
5. You rattled them out real quick because you were having fun and you were inspired, so you were just boom, 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 boom. But yeah, it was 5 because
so you did
the
6.
first one we did was the one that I did, which was 6. So
wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So sometime right after 5 came out, though, that's when the beta hit.
When Mojang released the ability to change... They added resource packs.
Mm-hmm.
I think, they added resource
texture packs.
No, resource packs.
Resource packs.
That's one point.
They had texture packs.
6.
They switched it to resource packs in 1.6. Yep.
So that you could add sounds. But you could not add sounds. You could change existing sounds.
Yeah.
And so I did sound design at university, and this excited me. I was like, oh my god, we could do like voice acting and stuff. Like we could actually put it in the map this time and not have it in cutscenes and whatever on YouTube. So we very quickly, in the space of about a day, whipped up a map that plays in about 8 minutes, called Joffrey's Chamber. And
is this a Game of Thrones?
No. We just found some silly name.
Okay.
Like Joffrey. It just sounded funny, and that was it.
It does, yeah.
And I think it was built by maybe me and 2 other people. It was not like a whole crew effort kind of thing, because it was done just spontaneously on one night, and it was like whoever's on kind of thing.
When you go Google this afterwards and see it, or find the video to put it in the video of the podcast or whatever, you will look at it and go, yeah, that was built in like 20 minutes. Like it is a quartz
the most basic
circular room with a cage in the middle, and that's it.
Yeah, and we changed certain sounds. So we used jukeboxes. We changed the notes on the jukeboxes to change them into actual voice files. And then we had doors that we planted around the chamber that when the door opened or closed, it would activate a light sound, like a sound of a light coming on and off and stuff. And it was just, we were hackily changing things so that you essentially created this experience, right? And
one of the longer files was water. You actually replaced, so they had a bucket of water that got released somewhere, and it played the sound because it was water. So
just flowing.
And it's just this very basic map. You go in, you spawn in a chamber, and there's this weird ominous voice speaking to you, and he's like, "I've finally caught you, ha ha, Joffrey," And then your job is to like escape the chamber, and you try and escape the chamber. You find a key to the door, and you go with the key to the door. You put the key in, and he then sings a 5-minute song to you about how he tricked you, and actually you're going to be you're stuck in here forever.
Who got to do the singing?
I did.
Ah, okay. We definitely have to check that out.
Yeah.
We're putting that in this episode.
That's great.
Nice.
I think I can hold on.
He's gonna find it.
Is this reverberant?
Yeah.
Joffrey.
That's what it sounded like in the note.
I was hoping that you had the song
like
file ready to go. Just press play, go at all times on your desktop.
It's on my SoundCloud somewhere.
Yeah.
Nice.
I don't know. So Yogscast picked that up. They saw it somehow. I think it must have been through Martin. And they played it, and as a sort of like a, hey, look at what you can do in Minecraft now. You can add sound effects, and it went viral, like millions of views.
Yeah.
And that's where Avon.
Nope.
Was it number 2?
You made 2. I'll tell you tell 2, and then I'll tell how I showed up.
Okay, all right. So yeah, it went pretty viral, and that excited everyone. So we were like, okay, let's make Joffrey's Chamber 2. And Joffrey's Chamber 2 was made in about 3 days. I remember distinctly it was a summer, and I was sweating in my chair a lot, but I had to get the map done, and I was hungry, but I had to get the map done because I was just like, it was just pure excitement.
Yeah.
And we ended up releasing that, and Yogscast also picked up and played that as well.
Nice.
And I think that's when...
Yeah. So they had actually added, in between those 2 updates, they had added the ability to add your own sounds. And one of the reasons that they added that was because they saw what he did with the first one. And didn't you tweet back at Dinnerbone or somebody, and you were like, hey, help, or whatever? You gave him something. Yeah. So anyways, in the meantime, I picked up Minecraft in... June of 2011. Actually, I was pretty late to the game compared to a lot of people who were kind of our age and into the game. I remember seeing it on Tumblr quite a bit back in the day when I was a Tumblr boy. And I see a bunch of screenshots of this game, and I was like, this game looks really cool. But at the time, I was still in college. I was not doing so well financially. I was living at college over the summer as an RA. So I pretty much had all day to just do nothing. And I wanted to try out this game, but I didn't want to buy it because I didn't have $25 to waste on a video game that I might not play. So I waited. I was going home that summer to visit and go to a friend's wedding. And my brother had the game, so he showed it to me. And he, stood behind me and watched me play my own survival world and was like, you can punch things. And all of a sudden night comes and I was like, oh, there's a thing I can punch in. No, not that. It was a creeper. It blew me up. And that was it. I stood up. We left to go to my friend's wedding. I bought the game that day. And I spent the rest of that summer putting in between 12 and 15 hours a day just playing survival Minecraft because I loved it. And, kind of fast forward through that year and the next year, I've met a couple other kids that were residents of mine and the residence hall I worked in, and they played Minecraft too, and we played survival mode a lot. And then, kind of the same thing that happens, I feel like, with everyone else happened, where we watched somebody play a video online and we were like, of a Minecraft map, and we were like, man, we could make something better than that, or that isn't that hard. Like, we could do something like that, and then we found out it was incredibly hard. And so we started making our own map, and we dreamt way too big, and I started tinkering with some basic redstone components, but nothing really came out of that. And then one day I'm sitting around just browsing YouTube, and I had found the Yogscast through Tumblr, and actually. I look back on it. I had watched them play the Paladin's Quest 2 intro that Noxcrew had put up, and it's not my thing. Like, even still to this day, that type of experience isn't my thing. I like the stuff that's funny and colorful and exciting and fun. And so that map came and went. I didn't even know who Noxcrew was. I just watched the video. But Joffrey's Chamber, they played that. And they played Joffrey's Chamber 2, and I watched those 2 videos back to back, and I laughed so hard through the whole time. It was just so funny. It was something that I enjoyed enough to look in the description to see who made it, because I wanted to go see what else.
You mean they
made,
actually
right?
put your name in the video description?
Wow.
Yeah, so the Yogscast is
goodness.
actually really, really good at that. They do a
are.
great job at crediting people. So I followed the link to the Noxcrew's YouTube channel, and pinned at the top is Noxcrew Game Show Pilot Season Now, Episode 1. And I put that on, and 20 minutes into it, I clicked the video description. There was a link that said they were hiring for builders to come on and join them, and so I was like, well, I don't know that I'm that good of a builder, but at the time I was actually working as a caretaker for my mom's dad, who had dementia and a head injury and a bunch of other stuff, so I was just sitting around while he did nothing, and I had nothing to do, so I was like, maybe, these guys will think I'm okay and like my skills, and so I took some nice screenshots of my builds, put in an application.
I would have just taken like somebody else's map and been like, I built this.
Yeah,
this
of course
amazing.
You would have.
Like some Fire UK stuff. I built this. What do you think?
There you go. Yeah, no, that wasn't my style. I didn't even know other people existed at that time. I just wanted to show them what I had. Told them I liked Joffrey's Chamber. I spelled Joffrey wrong. That quickly became one of my biggest pet peeves. It was Joffrey with a G, I think I spelled it. But anyways, so I submitted, and they liked my stuff, and they had me join. And I think like 3 days later, I was all of a sudden building on Joffrey's Chamber Part 3. Which has not come out. And the reason I mentioned that is, it's just like, where's my career trajectory at this point? Like, I'm working from home, not really doing anything with my life. I'm a crappy builder in Minecraft, and I have spent a month or two tinkering around with redstone components in a map that my friends and I are making. No command blocks. They weren't, they were just out. They were brand new. And so we're building on this map. The first night we're building on it, Noxite says to the group that's there, hey, we need like this thing with levers where players can like input a code or something and it'll take them somewhere. Does anybody want to try and build that? And nobody answered. And I was like, I guess I can give it a whack. I have a little bit of experience with redstone. And from that second, I was the redstone
You're
guy.
the redstone guy.
Immediately. And I didn't know what I was doing. I had no idea what was going on. I had 2 monitors, luckily, on my computer at the time. And anytime somebody would ask me to do something, I'd be like, yeah, I know how to do that. Googling it on the other window, following tutorials. And I actually... the game show was sacred at the time. You weren't allowed on the server. Nobody was allowed over there. There was security was a big thing back then, because that was just the way online communities worked. People would grief. They would build things they weren't supposed to, destroy stuff. It was a shame. So it was a big deal. One of the doors had broken. It was a 3x3 piston door. I'd never touched anything like that before. And I think it was Epic Landlord who came to me and said, hey, I need you to come fix this piston door.
Because you're the redstone guy.
Okay, so now all of a sudden I'm working on Game Show, and then everything tumbles out. The story from there kind of is, I think, where your questions are about to lead. But yeah, that was how I got started working on Game Show.
Yeah, so
he's being so honest right now. I didn't know that he didn't know what he was doing.
I've told that story before. I don't know if I've told it to you. But
he actually knows nothing. He secretly hires people in the background and just claims their work and sends it to you.
But I will say though, right? Like I was faking it until I made it. But there was a point about a year and a half in where I realized that the things I was Googling how to do, there was no answers to anymore. And that was when I was coming up with the answers myself, and then posting that information online for other people to Google. And that was where the spectrum kind of flipped to, like, I feel like I'm a pretender to, like, I actually sort of know what I'm doing now.
But then you get the YouTube comments like, actually, if you place the repeater in the reverse order, you can actually move it better, and it's more lag intensive.
That's all qmagnet. That's what he did.
Yeah, that's him. He has like 20 alts, and he argues with himself in YouTube comments.
That's right. You got to bring the views in somehow.
So this was about what year were you doing all that?
Oh, would that have been 13 or late 13, early 14, I think?
That would have been 13. Late 13.
So Noxcrew was still not like a company at this point, right? Like it was still just friends.
Yeah, actually, I want to. You said we're hiring. What exactly did that mean? We're hiring. That just mean come work with us.
I don't think we used hiring.
It was probably like we need more builders to supply here or something.
Yeah.
So what is we know Noxcite? He's big boss man running the show and all that. What do you do now?
So actually, right now I'm technically the content manager, but I think I sort of run the Minecraft team. We're in this awkward transitional period where we're kind of both learning what we want to be when we grow up, and I'm taking a little bit more of the Minecraft responsibilities over. But I mean, both of our jobs are just they spider web into so many things that it's almost hard to just give them a title, right? Like on one day we're in business executive meetings, and the other day we're hopping around on a admin pacing on a server while we're trying to fix a bug, and it's just we have to do whatever we need to do to make things work, and so
for sure. So I know now we talked about this once before, but I got to bring it up just for the podcast. When you guys launched Terra Swoop Force, that was like your big breakthrough map, right? So all this other stuff was really cool things happening, right? But was Terra Swoop Force the first one, or am I skipping some huge steps here along the way?
I think it was like
first breakthrough.
That that set the whole that changed map making. I know you guys were on the inside out, but looking from the outside in, that set the whole community on fire and was so much, because I don't think we had the high pixel stuff, but to see such really, really good builds plus really good mechanics, it was kind of almost pioneering that, where now you've got the whole marketplace. Would you agree with that? You can take credit for that if you like.
So it's funny.
I want to tell the story about how the map started eventually, so don't spoil that. But
no, I mean that was where the story.
Is that where you were going to talk about? Okay, go for it.
But I mean, to answer that question, I think Terra Swoop Force was our first breakthrough map. I think Noxcrew Game Show and which wasn't a map, it was just a YouTube series, and Joffrey's Chamber. And then we had, Hole in the Wall, Super Hole in the Wall. I don't think we didn't release that many maps really, but
no, it was just Super Hole in the Wall, and then
as viral as Joffrey's Chamber was, it wasn't really. I mean, you did have the people that were like, "This is going to change map making," kind of thing, but it wasn't the wave that Terra Swoop Force created. Terra Swoop Force was played by everyone, where Joffrey's Chamber was sort of Yogscast and their audience kind of thing.
It's an interesting difference, isn't it? Because when you watch somebody play Joffrey's Chamber, you don't need to go play it yourself, right? But when you watched Terra Swoop Force, I think you almost had to go play it for yourself, because you wanted to experience the same things that the YouTubers were experiencing, but in person.
Yeah.
Plus, for me, I'm looking at this map, and I'm like, you guys are getting hundreds of thousands of views on your here's what we did behind the scenes stuff. I'm like, whoa, you guys totally hit it. I was so jealous of you guys, by the way, as that map.
Oh.
Yeah. But it was so well. It was so well done, and that was probably, at least from what I know, that must have been the first. At least first prominent thing that used custom textures, custom voice acting. I don't know if anybody did that before that.
Well, that was so we released that 4 to 5 years in of Noxcrew. So I'd say that Terra Swoop Force pretty much ended up being a culmination of everything we'd learnt and experimented with and failed with and throw away and redid up to that point. And it wasn't, the funny thing was that it wasn't meant to be that. We never set out to make this grand epic.
Oh, come
This is
on.
this
You
is my
had to been
favorite.
sitting there going,
No,
this is
no.
going to be big.
No. So this is legitimately where Terra Swoop Force came from, right? So there was a project that Skyo, who's one of our artists now, was working on the side. She used to do a lot of kind of background tinkering and mechanics for us, and she came up with this gliding mechanic. And before Elytras came out, and she was going to do this glider concept, and I actually never experienced it myself. At this time,
did you see anything of it?
No, never.
Okay. They actually had wing gliders, and you were running off
How?
hill. It was with the levitation effect.
Huh.
And then they had like a model,
really?
I think it was a hat or something, or and it basically went on top of the character, and you ran off a little cliff, and you would like glide down.
Right.
That's
And this was before the Elytra.
It was before they even announced the Elytras were coming out.
Just before.
So yeah, like 2 or 3 weeks
week.
probably.
Yeah.
And so I was working full time at the time. I had picked up a job at Best Buy, and I was selling TVs, and it cut my engagement time with Noxcrew down pretty substantially, obviously, because I had gone from working at home where I was giving probably, unhealthy, I'm at like 70, 80 hours a week, to all of a sudden now I'm working full-time, 40 plus, and I have to do Noxcrew stuff on the side. So I miss all this stuff. But Mojang announces that they're going to release Elytras, and
We're already halfway through this map.
Yeah. I look at that
gliders.
and I go, man, this is going to be huge. There's going to be this huge rush of people who want to play with these things. They want to experience it. And the snapshot that they were releasing these in was coming out on my off day from work. And so I sent Noxite a message on probably Skype. It might have been TeamSpeak. But I was like, hey, I'm off on that day. We should just do a live stream, and at the beginning of the day, start an Elytra map and just get whatever we can get done during that day, and then put it out and see how it does. Just make it in a day and see how it does.
Yeah.
And then 9 months later, Terra Swoop Force came out.
wow.
You're like, oh, we need to put that in a map. No one did Elytra maps before you guys.
I don't think so.
There was really
there was
nobody that put one out. Like, there was courses that people would release, but nothing.
There was light stuff, but nothing that went full force.
But it
and
was
to
the whole what's the word you said? Culmination, whatever. It's like the
culmination.
storyline and amazing builds. Like it's such a gorgeous map. And then the crazy little, I'm like you haven't done. I'm like I love the little command block tweaks and stuff, like the smoke coming out of the thing and the sound effects, and like it's top notch. You guys know it is obviously, but like no one had seen that before. I see so many comments saying best map ever, even to this day. You know what I mean? It's pretty well. You're probably proud of your marketplace stuff, but that was a definite change in community map making for sure.
Yeah. So actually,
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, I remember as we were making it, as it started to take months and months and months. I remember distinctly this period of time in the middle where it just, I think none of us could see the ending, and we were losing a little bit of morale and sort of, what's the point? Let's just scrap this map and do something else, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I do remember, like, every sequence that we were working on, we were trying to make something genuinely cool. But I don't remember us ever sitting there going, like, yeah, this is going to be the best map ever. It's going to be the coolest thing. We were just trying to make something good.
Yeah.
And it was I think, a month before release where me and Avon finally sat down and played the whole map through, like, in one sitting. And that's
worked.
the point where you, like, when it works and you can finally feel it, how it feels when the whole thing is together. And we were like, oh my God, this is actually kind of good. Like, and we didn't, I don't know, we didn't really expect much from it. But once everything came together, the music, the final builds, all the sequences and the effects and the sounds, it's just like, oh my god, this is a reality now.
And you recently hit 1 million downloads on that one.
Yeah, I think that was like a year ago now.
It depends on how you
I don't know.
count it.
I can't remember when that was.
We used to fudge the numbers a little bit.
Yeah.
We used to fudge the numbers a little bit because so many people played it multiplayer.
Yeah.
So the one person would download the world, and then 25 people would download the
That counts as
resource
25,
pack.
guys.
Yeah.
No. That number is the downloads of the map.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's not fun.
I actually, I might have told you this, but I was a little bit angry about that map because I was trying to put it in Diversity 3 and I couldn't get out of adventure mode, and I'm like, I just want to fly around and grab the chunk and put it in. I had to, and I didn't have any contact with you at the time, actually.
You were trying to steal a part of the...
Well,
That's how you make map. I told you, I just take other people's stuff, put it in. This is my work. It's my work.
Add a couple of pumpkins with signs on the side of them, and you're done.
Exactly.
Dang, cutthroat. All right.
Okay,
cool.
so then you guys...
No, but you ended up getting in touch with me, though, and we sorted it out.
I asked you about how you did credits, and then I was going to rip you off there, too. And then I'm like, they used a custom resource pack to remove the HUD, so I can't do that, and I had to come up with some other... Anyway, I just basically try to rip people off and make it a cool project.
We're not actually doing a podcast. This was just an opportunity for Q to confess.
I had it came out of me. Okay, so so then you guys got into marketplace. Everybody knows that you're like leaders of the marketplace. I actually want to talk about Frozen because I'm pretty blown away that you got a big, I think you guys said your first IP. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Can you share how that came to be? I don't know if you got NDAs or whatever, but like what you could say.
Yeah, we can talk about, I think, a lot of it now.
Yeah, I think so. Like, I don't know if there's really
first of all,
exciting...
is it Frozen 2 or is it Frozen, or what
Frozen
one is it?
2.
It's both.
Frozen 2. It's both.
Well,
It's
yeah,
both.
it covers both, but it's
Right.
branded. It's marketed more as Frozen 2. Yeah, I don't think there's much exciting details, but it was...
It's exciting for us.
I remember, like,
maybe not so exciting
being,
to hear.
Yeah, there was talk about marketplace teams being able to do IP, and I wasn't necessarily excited about doing an IP stuff. I like that we get to do our own stuff and make our own worlds. But then it was we Microsoft contacted us and was like, hey, we've got this deal with Disney and they want to make a Frozen 2 map. Are you interested?
They said we have an opportunity for you guys.
Yeah, they didn't say what it was.
Something with Disney. And we looked and we were like, what if it's Frozen?
Oh, really?
Yeah. And
I was hoping it was Mary Poppins. Oh.
We have a couple of people in the crew who are huge
fans.
Frozen fans. Huge fans.
So it was like, okay, if we're gonna do an IP, it's gonna be Frozen.
It's going to be Frozen.
And it was Frozen.
Yeah.
Did you get to talk to any of the like cast of the movie?
It was. Oh no.
Cast, no.
I thought you
what
could
I'm
do.
saying.
Oh,
No,
come
no
do voiceover
exciting-
for our characters and everything.
Not many exciting details.
So we learned a lot about that, and basically what we learned is that we will probably never have real voice acting. Real voice actors voice their characters in Minecraft. It's an ordeal, but as a part of being prepared to make that experience, we needed to know a bunch of information about Frozen that didn't exist, and so we ended up flying. Was it 5 of us? Yeah, it was 5 of us out to Los Angeles to go to Burbank and actually go see like a sort of, I guess, a preview of the movie. It was a video of a presentation that I think it was Chris Buck and Jennifer, the lady whose name I forgot, giving like a pitch of the movie to either some stakeholders or some people who were working on it. But We saw, this was in right at the end of July, right before I got married. Actually, we had to rush the trip in because it was in the middle of us getting our deal signed and me getting married and going to celebrate that. So it was like a very specific time it had to happen. But we saw, some of the scenes were not in at all, and they just explained them. Some of them were just like stick figures moving around, and then some of them were fully voice acted, fully animated. And wow. So we walked in there, and we I can't reach my notebook, but we took pages of notes. We had to sign our lives away, not touch our phones, and yeah, we get to see a lot of visuals and sort of come together with a plan with the people we were working with at Disney to produce the,
because they actually send stormtroopers to your house if you break those NDAs.
Yeah. So like that, to me, seeing that Frozen IP, and obviously there's been other stuff that's come up in the marketplace with other IPs, but like that Frozen, was there anything really at that scale with the IPs before your Frozen map was starting to get worked on? Or was that, well, I mean, that was your first one. Was there anything else besides that before Frozen?
So they had just done Toy Story.
And
yeah,
DuckTales
right.
as well.
DuckTales as well.
Okay.
The Frozen one kind of stood out for a couple reasons. I think the first one was I think it was the biggest like physical world size that had been done yet. And then the other thing that stands out is it was the first one that released with the content that it was covering. It released the same day as the movie, which was huge.
I remember hearing about it at Minecon, like from the grapevine. I'm not sure if I was supposed to hear about it, but
I was calling it Avengers 100% of the time beforehand. So
I was walking in the airport and the plane, giant Frozen 2 painted on the side of it. I'm like, oh man, now you're making me think about that.
No, so like that to me is such a cool thing to see for Minecraft map makers and people in the marketplace, and I'm really curious to know what kind of opportunities might come in the future with other IPs like wanting to get in with Minecraft, wanting to work with Microsoft or Minecraft marketplace partners, and it just seems like that is a door that could open and really take things way beyond where they currently are. I don't know if that is an exciting idea for you guys. Are you looking to do more IP stuff in the future, or do you think that like what you did is satisfactory?
I can answer that one. We like making our own stuff, and we want to make the right thing. So, if the right thing comes along, we'll make it. But in the meantime, we want to make cool stuff that we want to make too. So,
yeah.
Depends on the IP.
Yeah. It's got to be right.
It's sort of like, yeah. I think there was a lot of praise towards like Harry Potter. If we got the chance to do Harry Potter, we'd be all over that kind of thing.
Gotcha.
It depends on how many fans there are in the crew of that particular IP. But yeah, I think the door's been opened. We don't know the specifics of any plans or anything, but
yeah,
we don't know. We don't know.
Looking from an outside in perspective, I mean, as a the holder of a brand, like a major child brand like that, why would you not want to see it go into Minecraft, right? Yeah. I don't think they ever have any shortage of people knocking on their door going, hey, pay me this much money and you can put my thing in your game. And so yeah,
be interesting to see how that develops into other areas too, like servers and such, because like in the ULA, right, it's you're not allowed to, unless you have permission from Mojang and Microsoft, you're not allowed to do branded deals for other products. And so I would personally love to see some servers that pop up, or more maps or whatever that can start popping up to get into exploring Harry Potter or Avengers or Star Wars or whatever in like official IPs. I think that would be amazing. And I hope, I have fingers crossed that it leads to that in the future. It would be sick. Obviously, we can still do that with like fan-based stuff, right? But
yeah,
to get
with the fan
official
base
back.
stuff, and like a lot of times you get this fantastic fan base stuff. You know, this like the new the Harry Potter
It looks sick.
thing that's on YouTube right now looks unbelievable, right?
Yeah.
And that's the personal touch of fanatics who are working,
Yeah.
you know, day and night to get everything right. But at the same point in time, when you do an IP deal with a major IP holder like we did with Disney, basically everything that we did had to go get approved by really important people at Disney who know all of that stuff and want to make sure it's right. And we're talking as close to within 72 hours of release, we were making color palette changes on biome coloring.
So you're not too eager to do that quite stressful again?
Honestly, the biggest stress about it for me and as an extension the entire team was the fact that I got married in the middle of it and was gone for so much. Like, obviously I can't really apologize about getting married, but I think I was out of the office for close to 5 weeks over the production of Frozen, and that's tough. That was the part that stressed me out. The work didn't stress me out. If anything, honestly, the time crunch made it easier because we didn't have the time to get carried away. We had to do what we set out to do, and there was a clear end point and a clear date that it had to be done by, and we hit it. And yes, I don't know. Was it stressful? Absolutely, but it was the good kind of stress. It wasn't the bad kind of stress.
How many people worked on that?
22-ish. It's probably close, right?
And how long did that take you guys?
So the build team was already working on it in the last week of July. But the rest of the team, art team started a couple weeks later. Mechanics started beginning of October, probably.
Wow.
Man,
Sounds about right. So
he crunched it in, man.
Yep.
Well done.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good
All right.
stuff.
Good
But
history of Noxcrew.
You know what this means? Like, all of that story there, you guys were pioneers in so many different areas that have gone on to be very successful for a lot of people, even outside of Noxcrew. And you are pioneers here on the podcast. So I'm planning and expecting on this to become a huge deal in the future for all of us. Thank you
That's
for being
exciting.
Isn't that nice of you? What? That didn't sound rehearsed at all.
I can tell by the way you're talking right now that this is an hour-long episode.
No. We're going through rapid fire. Okay.
Yep.
I got some questions for you guys. This is a rapid fire. We should do a little rapid, like a little jingle. Rapid fire.
I already got it. I got you.
Okay, good. All right. Okay, so just say what's off the top of your head on this. A little
Either
fun
one of
little
you
thing.
can answer.
All right. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So, first one, not including Noxcrew creations. What's the most impressive thing you've seen in Minecraft from the community? Could be a video or a map or a mod or whatever, anything. Over your time in Minecraft, what's the thing that your favorite thing and most impressive thing, something like that?
I'm
That's a
having
hard question.
really bad recency bias on this question.
Right? The Harry Potter trailer.
Yeah, because the Harry Potter thing was amazing.
That was 4 minutes of what? This keeps going. Oh my god, they built London as well.
All right. Okay, go Stiff. Ask him next one.
What would you guys like added to Minecraft?
So they're going to say, we already add everything ourselves.
No, there are things that I want. I'm just trying if I have that one thing. These are tough questions for a rapid fire round. What are you guys doing?
Okay, I'll tell you. I'll tell you mine. I want a adjustable lighting block, like a note block. Clink, 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 clink. But then it adjusts the lighting block. Adjusts the light level.
Colored lighting would be cool by extension.
Yeah. Color would be great.
Color.
I really like.
There's a lot of stuff.
Atmosphere.
I wish things could be done with sound that we can't do yet, like looping tracks and having the ability to fade things out in the middle.
Yeah.
Fade control.
would be really
on
cool.
sound would be so good.
Yeah.
So
Not that the question is for me, but I have to answer because this is super important. Better server performance. I would really like that.
I'm in the
Put that
servers.
out there. Hey, this is my
There's
life.
nothing wrong with that. Yeah. One thing, actually, here's one. I want to be able to have a way in the game to ask the client what device is playing it. So that when I have to give a tutorial, instead of saying right click or long press or right trigger or left trigger or L2 or this, I can just pull that you're on a PlayStation and tell you what button it is.
When we originally played Minecraft, we never got any tutorials. You just knew, and if you didn't know, you go to Wikipedia.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
I got an answer on the impressive things. Do you remember the heist map?
Yeah, I do.
With the
I quit. It was too hard for me.
Yeah.
Cube Hamster, Samosaurus, and Whoopi. That was amazing.
I will say, I will call out another one here that is maybe a little bit unconventional, but you said it could be a video, anything. One of the most impressive things to me in Minecraft is Etho's Let's Play series.
Ah, yes!
He's been going for so long. It's the only Let's Play series I still watch, and that world is one of the most fascinating things that's ever been made in Minecraft, in my opinion.
He's why I bought Minecraft. His series.
Wingcraft server.
That was really cool.
The Wingcraft MMORPG. Yep. Oh my god.
Yeah.
All right, we could probably spend like an hour just naming all amazing things.
Okay, wait. I gotta ask you this. Rapid fire question. What's the Dreadmaster up to these days?
Oh my goodness. He found the beginning. He found the bit of the story.
I did my research.
You got to answer the question.
Still back in Sheffield, causing havoc. I don't know.
He seemed pretty angry.
Something like that.
The police ever get him?
Yeah. In short.
Yeah.
Me and my brother, we made videos and we made a documentary about Minecraft addiction.
Yeah.
About I think a year or two before Noxcrew started.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
It was pretty amazing.
We were young.
He doesn't know anything about Joffrey's Chamber, but he found that video.
He found that video.
Okay,
on a different channel. It's not even on the Noxcrew channel.
Next question here. Rapid fire question, okay? Have you ever been in a band, then played a show where your guitar cable got stuck on a lighting rig and flew out and smacked you on the head, knocked you over and landed on your head because you forgot to hit the distortion pedal on time?
Yeah, I have.
Have you really?
When did I tell you that story?
I just data mined your Reddit posts.
Well,
we were doing a deep dive.
You're also very in love with golf. I can say that for sure.
Yeah, watch a lot of golf.
You seem to know quite a lot about John Wayne movies as well.
That's interesting. So my grandfather, who actually passed away a couple months ago, don't go like or whatever. Like, yeah, it was sad, but this guy, short story, as short as I can make it, he left my mom's mom when she was young and got remarried, and his new wife said he wasn't allowed to keep in touch with his old family at all. So I saw him 2 times in my life before he got his head injury, and the only time I ever knew him was when he was nuts. So I didn't experience a lot of connection to the band other than that, but he wasn't mentally capable of engaging in conversation for more than 5 minutes, and he thought he was 19 years old, but he was in his late 80s, early 90s at the time, and one of the ways to keep his brain engaged was to get him to watch movies, and he loved John Wayne movies. It was the one name he could remember of a movie star, and so we would put on John Wayne movies for him all the time. And actually, when my mom stopped taking care of him, she sent out a bunch of the collection that they had at their house of the John Wayne movies. So I have a whole bunch of them sitting there that I got to go through. But,
he's got the record for most films, I think, doesn't he?
He probably does. He did so many movies, and so many of them are really terrible, but he made a lot of really good movies as well.
Genghis Khan?
Yeah.
Dang. So next question. Does pineapple belong on pizza?
Yes. I
Oh,
like pineapple.
we
I
have a
like
yes?
sweet things on pizza.
I agree with you completely.
Not on my pizza, but I'm not gonna gatekeep pizza for other people.
Have you tried baked beans?
It's a
and
yes
egg
or no
noodles?
question.
Have
I'll
you
say
tried?
no.
Have you tried?
Oh, we have a little fight here. Dish it out. Go. Little discrepancy. We broke up the Nox crew over pineapple pizza.
Seriously though, have you tried baked beans and egg noodles on pizza?
I have not.
That was a student concoction I created, and it was amazing.
It sounds really
Amazing.
sloppy.
Are we talking Heinz baked beans? Or are we talking
Yeah, like Heinz baked beans mixed with some egg noodles and then spread on the top of the pizza, and you take the slices and you eat with the egg noodles and the baked beans on top.
I have no idea.
I like how
I
you
don't
just
even think I
described
like
eating
egg
that
noodles
pizza like
as
it was
they are.
wildly different.
Students. I mean, you actually put it on the pizza rather than like eat it
Yeah.
with the pizza.
Yeah, but like if you don't like something, like I don't want to eat a rubber boot. It doesn't mean if I put a rubber boot on pizza, it tastes better. Or maybe it
Have
does.
you tried it?
I haven't tried it. That's
Don't
a
knock it.
Alright.
What kind of example is that? Why would you bring up a rubber boot? What? All right.
It's a Canadian thing.
yeah. I am okay. Yeah, but I'm
Yeah.
like I'm still kind of in the British. Oh, by the way, apparently we're gonna have to pay for the prince's security because he's moving to Canada. Your
Nice.
prince who quit the family. Thank you. I just wanted to blame a UK person for that.
The Void Frogs is not actually Minecraft or gaming podcast. It's a political podcast. Start talking about the royal family.
Well, I know nothing about the royal family, so
No, don't do it. Don't even
Hey.
think about them.
So one other little section here we got. Another little fun thing.
Is
Now,
this a rapid fire section?
This is a rapid fire, but this is a competition between the two of you. All right.
All right.
Oh gosh, you're doing
Okay.
this. Okay.
Yeah, we're doing this. I'm getting it done.
Five
okay?
questions.
There are
Okay.
5 questions. Whoever gets the most questions correct, you get your name said first.
Whoever
in the
gets-
introductions and in the
They
title of the
get
episode
to
and
be the new CEO of Noxcrew. Whoever gets this correct. Whoever wins.
Did you say new or nude?
So wait, what
The
do I
nude-
get then?
The nude CEO.
All right, good.
everything. Okay, first question. Not including Minecraft China, how many copies of Minecraft have been sold worldwide? Closest without going over.
45 million.
How much?
Oh no, that was terrible. That was a terrible.
I didn't hear what you said.
Good. 450 million. No.
Avondale.
1.1 billion.
You said closest without going
Without
over?
going over, yeah.
Yeah.
One.
What?
Well, there you go. That strategy right there. I'm impressed on that.
The answer is 180 million.
So my legitimate guess was going to be 137 million, but okay. I'll take that.
You would have got it first, Noxite, if you had just stuck with your first answer. Question number 2. So we got 1 point. 1 point for Avondale. Question number 2. What gender is the Ender Dragon?
She.
Female.
Noxite got it. 1-1.
Wait a
Question-
minute.
Oh,
Wait a minute.
it's who
I
yells it
have
first?
a problem with that answer because I have heard this debate, and just because you kill a dragon and an egg pops out doesn't mean it's a female dragon.
Notch said that it was she.
He also said a lot of things. Doesn't mean it's true.
Okay.
I think he would be the one to know. He made it.
he did.
He
did
doesn't
create
know
it.
anything.
All right, now that I
Not
know it's
two,
the first
nobody knows
answer, I'm
who
going to
it
yell it faster.
First
I was
answer.
letting him go first.
Yep.
All right,
okay.
I'm glad you outlined the rules of this game before the game instead of in the middle of it.
Look,
so
you're
that
tied right now. Okay.
Third answer.
you can
So
give
gotta
us each
share.
a half a point. You
Third
didn't
answer
say the
gets
right
it.
answer.
Third
All right.
question.
All right.
What item did you used to get when you smelted diamonds, like the gems?
I don't know this.
When you smelted the diamond gems?
Yeah, just not the diamond
diamond,
ore,
the
but the
diamonds.
diamonds themselves. What item did you used to get?
A diamond nugget.
That's a good guess.
Is it?
I'm gonna give you a countdown. 5, 4,
No, I don't know.
3, 2,
Potion.
1.
Diamond dust.
Oh, you both are actually wrong. Noxite, you just didn't have to say anything. You would get nothing. There's never actually been
That's
anything
just
that you
a
would
really
get.
dumb question. I can't believe you came up with that.
Yeah, I was like,
It's not even
You said,
fair.
what did you used to... Oh, okay, he said, what did you used to get? You did used to get nothing. You still get it, too, but you used to get nothing.
You also used to
all right, I hate that question.
very good trick question.
Fourth
It actually
question.
tricked me. Like, I was genuinely like, what? No way.
I'm glad I could pull that one over on you. It's still 1-1. Fourth question. What were diamonds called, speaking of diamonds, what were diamonds called in the game's code from their release in January 2010 until May 2012?
That's such a random
I
question.
have several words left that I'm allowed to say that I could call you right now.
What were they referred to?
Forget, just in case you're thinking about it,
Rubies.
forget it
Rubies?
about it in
That's a
December
good
2011. It's only
Rubies is a
after
good guess.
January 2010.
That's right. Rubies is a good guess.
Emeralds. Gems.
Yams?
Diamond. Lock in your final answer. Diamond and what? What was your final answer? Avondale?
Ruby.
Ruby? The answer is emerald.
He even said it, too.
He said it.
I
He
did.
said it.
Non-final answer.
Okay.
All right.
I was just trying to figure out why he was making us lock in our answers because we didn't both
Because
get a
you-
point for she
because
earlier.
you said
and the
it.
rules changed
You
again.
I was trying to
Unbelievable.
help you out.
I'm coming up with the questions
All right.
next time.
Okay, that's fine.
Come up with the rules too.
Fifth question. Last question. Okay,
For
it's
the
wonderful.
nude CEO,
For the new CEO, closest without going over. If you have an inventory full of shulker boxes, right? Shulker boxes. And those shulker boxes are full of eggs. And you throw all
I'm
of the
sorry.
eggs. How many chickens will you spawn in?
Oh,
About-
that's
I'm
terrible.
sorry I invited you on this.
God, what a terrible
I didn't know he was
question.
going to ask this.
I know the math. I can give you the formula.
Use your calculator.
Just don't.
Can we
Google.
we can use a calculator?
Yeah, you can use the calculator. Go ahead.
All right. But just no Googling, right?
Just don't
Oh, that's
Google.
not fair. I'm bad at math.
You're
Calculator.
sitting at a computer. It's a calculator. Type it in.
I don't even know the percentage chance of a chicken coming out of an egg. So
If I see the reflection of Google in your glasses, I will be
That's why I don't wear
disappointed.
glasses.
I'm at a major disadvantage on this question.
You can just guess a number.
I don't know.
Your first guess for the first question was actually pretty good.
He's going to
So
say 1.1
you could be a good guess.
I've got my number. I'll wait until he says his.
1 billion.
Closest without going over.
Okay, wait. Let me revert. I'm gonna go with 500,000.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna go with 3,000. It's a conservative guess. My calculations told me 3888, but I'm gonna go with 3,000.
Okay.
So close.
It's on average it's 2,190. But so you
Wow.
both went over. But I can't. We can't do a 1-to-1.
Who
We
was
can't
keeping
have a
score?
tie
I don't even
here.
know what it was.
Huh? I was keeping score. I thought you guys might be able to get it.
It's 1-to-1, but I got 2 questions right.
It's
it's
true.
1-to-1.
Okay, so you got Avondale is the winner. Ding 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 ding.
Yeah, these
ding,
rules
ding,
are really
ding.
changing all the time.
Yep. Thank you
Man,
for
now my victory
playing.
feels empty.
Amazing. We should have started with the game before the...
You know what? Instead of ordering our names based on who won the game, just put them in alphabetical order, and it'll solve the problem.
That's actually a pretty good idea.
Well, gentlemen, what's next? What are you working on? You probably working on like 5 maps at one time, right?
We're working on a mod where you can smelt diamonds. And
They give you nothing.
And they give you nothing.
You gotta
the code
do that.
is,
You gotta
is
do
outrageous. It's gonna be some groundbreaking Minecraft. No, for real.
My
like
son
we
would
can,
download it. I'm gonna
He
tell
would.
him.
We can talk about a couple things. So this episode's supposed to go out on. Wait, this is live and today is February 1st. That's what I'm supposed to say, right?
February 1st?
What?
I think it's
He
a little
told me
bit
he was-
totally before that.
He said, I want this episode to go out at the beginning of February. No, so it's, February 9th is Minecraft
2023.
Championships, episode 2.
Yeah.
Or event 2, I don't know what we're calling it, but it's coming back February 9th. At what time?
8 p.m. GMT.
There you go, which
Oh,
is
GMT.
3 p.m. Eastern.
3 p.m. EST, 12 p.m. PST.
So that's what game show sort of evolved over the years, and that's kind of its most recent iteration. The other thing we announced at Minecon on the panel that I was on with a bunch of other marketplace map makers, that we're working on a map called Destructobots versus Dinosaurs. That map is in testing right now, so it's getting real close. And then there's another one, but I can't talk about that one.
Oh,
So-
yeah, you threw in the old, we got a secret here.
Gotta
And then there's
dangle it out
another
somewhere.
one.
For more
Well, in that
information
case,
on
just
that,
say
visit
we have like
noxcrew.com.
5 we can't talk about.
Yeah.
Yep.
Beauty.
We're
Guys.
working on a bunch of stuff. Bunch of
That
really-
Dinobots one. That sounds pretty baller. That's exciting.
There's a lot of explosions in that map.
Brilliant.
Arguably the most explosions we've ever put in any map.
So we're going like Michael Bay style with the fights here.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Everything explodes in the map.
You basically, you walk out your door, go to grab the mail, and the mailbox explodes!
Yeah.
Do we know how many explosions were at the end of Terra Swoop Force?
Was that
That's
creepers?
interesting.
Was that creepers?
There were no creepers hurt in the making of Terra Swoop Force.
What was the explosions?
They were all just particles and sound
In a
effects.
tunnel in the credits. When
Yeah,
the
it's just
tunnel was
particles.
exploding.
It was an invisible armor stand flying up the tunnel emitting particles.
Wow.
Yeah.
I
Genius.
wasn't expecting
Genius.
that. That's cool.
Yeah. Even the one explosion that looks real in that map, which is if you run the cores exploding, you get drawn to the window at the end when it's actually about to pop you, and the glass breaks and you get knocked back, and it's actually just me hitting damage onto the player. It's not even an explosion. So
It's just you hitting damage. So you had to actually be in every single Let's Play.
yeah, it
a
was a busy
click
couple of
with a
months for me
sword.
when it came out. Yeah, I have a buzzer in my pocket that goes off every time somebody beats the third tunnel. And here's a fun fact about Terra Swoop Force that I'll leave you with. It took me 2 months to beat the third tunnel for the first time.
I heard that. I heard you say that before.
Yeah, 2 months, and then we made it a lot easier.
And then you're
the
like,
first.
Oh, because I'm usually like, if you can't beat it, what? That's your problem, not mine.
Well, somebody had to beat it.
Yeah.
The first time I ever beat it, it wasn't in this room. It was about a mile that way where I used to live. And his brother was actually visiting me. His brother studied abroad in America for a semester, and he drove up on his spring break to visit me. And his brother was sitting on the couch behind me, and I was showing him the map, and I flew through the first 2 tunnels, and I said, okay, I'll try the third one. I'll try it twice, and if I don't make it, we'll just move on, and I'll show you the ending. And on the second try through, I made it, and he was standing up and like, screaming and climbing. I was like, oh, gosh!
Nice. Nice.
Top 10
Awesome.
gaming moment for me right there.
Man,
Beating the third tunnel for the first time.
I know we've talked a lot about Terra Swoop first, but that seriously, I watched so many playthroughs and got giddy with so many of them. Just a brilliant map, and then the other ones that you've made since then have been brilliant as well. I am really looking forward to seeing the future creations of Noxcrew. And all of you people who are listening or watching on YouTube should definitely go check them out. Noxite, where can people find information about Noxcrew, about the maps, all that stuff? Where can people follow you?
Noxcrew.com is a great place. We have a special page on Noxcrew.com called Noxcrew.com/creations. And there we have literally this picture list of all the maps we've ever made. Almost.
Excellent. Almost.
Except for
There are a couple of things
what was
missing on there.
the elder blocks.
Paladin's
Yeah, that
Quest.
one's not on there. Yeah, that's a great landing page. That links out to a bunch of other things. You can get to the YouTube from there. The Twitter is probably linked on there somewhere, but it also
At
links to our
Noxcrew.
Discord.
Excellent.
We have a lot of cool people in our Discord community. A lot of people who've been around for a long time. A lot of people who are aspiring map makers. We have a big part of our community that has their own team of map makers that made their own game show that parodied ours, and they over the years have become, I would argue, just as skilled as we are at doing game show type stuff. And
Nice.
they make some really cool stuff. Fun place to hang out.
Excellent. And are you guys hiring right now? Should anybody apply for a job?
If the right person comes along, our applications are always open. There's a button on our website that you can submit your portfolio. And actually, here's a fun anecdote. I spent 2.5 hours today going through my backlog of portfolios. So I got them all cleaned up, and I'm going to be emailing people shortly. But yeah.
You never know. You could join Noxcrew knowing no redstone at all, and then they put you. You're the redstone guy now.
Yep. That's how it works.
Just lie very good.
You just turn into the guy.
Just do what I do. You take pictures of other maps. Herobrine's Midge. I thought that's Hypixel. No, that's a different one. This is my map.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have links to you guys on Twitter and all that for your personal Twitters. Your
I think that's what they're called.
Tweeters.
Tweeters.
In the show notes or in the description so that you guys can click and follow them. But you guys just want to say what your handles are real quick for the people who are listening. Noxcite.
At the Noxcite.
And mine is at Avondale 1718.
1718.
Never dropping the numbers.
It was when you were born. You're looking good for your age, man.
Thank you. Yeah. I have seen some things, let me tell you.
that war, man, that was brutal.
Which one? All of them. Just all of them.
Thanks, guys, for coming on. I really appreciate it, especially because you came on for episode 1 with like hardly any notice.
If you had asked us to do episode 2 instead, we would have said no.
Yeah. Well,
one or done.
Well, we never do episode 3s.
It can only go up from here, guys. No.
Yep.
That's
the number of the episode can go up. So.
That's true. You could have episode 0. You could make this one episode 1 of the pilot season, and then make season 1.
Oh yes.
Afterwards, there's a pro tip.
We'll cut off all the episodes halfway and just claim we never finished them.
You can accidentally have one of us on another episode.
We'll get you guys back for episode 1 of the actual season when it's released.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. So thanks so much, guys. Very much. Really cool to have you here. And everybody go check them out.
Thank you.
We wave bye. How do you sign off?
That's
Is that
it.
just
That's
done?
Yep.
All right. Bye.
Yo.
Good job.